One valuable lesson that I learned from an acting coach once was that inexperienced actors try to cry, whereas a real person tries not to cry. And what's meant by that is that when an inexperienced actor gets a scene where there's a lot of emotion involved, what they may feel the urge to do is to force it, to push the emotion out, to force a tear. And that is not as dramatically engaging as being able to communicate something despite the emotion threatening to overwhelm you. Because that's what real people do. Okay, real people, they have the emotion, but what they're really trying to do is to communicate something, whether it be to one other person or to a group of people. So as an actor, you're doing the same thing essentially. You're trying to communicate something. And it's not just the emotion, you're trying to communicate something else, an idea. So what you should do is connect with the emotion, definitely feel the emotion, and then communicate through the words as best you can, despite the emotion threatening to overwhelm you. And when you do it that way, you are then leaving room for the audience to feel empathy and to reach out to you with their own feelings. That's more dramatically engaging than just emoting, than just bawling and crying and showing a lot of tears. A perfect example of this would be Keisha Castle-Hughes in the film Whale Rider. She plays a character named Paikua who has a scene where she's in a play, a school play, and she is reciting a speech that she wrote in honor of her grandfather. And her grandfather did not show up, so she's staring at his empty seat, right? And you can see her just completely overwhelmed with the emotion of disappointment. And yet, she struggles and she tries her best to get through her speech and to say it. And it's so engaging. And when you see it, your heart reaches out to her. You know, there's such empathy there. Because what you see is someone struggling to try to communicate something despite the emotion threatening to overwhelm them. And that's more dramatically engaging any day. Hope that helps.